Sup everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're gonna take a step further and continue talking about Yelan. I see a lot of people throwing different opinions around, saying Yelan is not comparable to Kazuha, or people saying Yelan is far better than Kazuha, and there are even some saying Yelan is not worth pulling, others saying Yelan is a very worthwhile pull. Now I get it, people. It depends on what types of units you currently have, what teams you're playing her with, how you are playing her, maybe even what weapon, but that shouldn't really affect how you perceive Yelan as long as you have a clear understanding for what the game currently has to offer and potentially what the game is going to put forth as obstacles for you to overcome in the near future. So, name's Erotic Walrus. We talk about this stuff all the time. Sometimes I'm on the mark, sometimes I'm off. Today, hopefully, I can be on the mark. So, talking about Yelan, I think a lot of people right now are seeing this character more as a damage option as opposed to a facilitator. And to be fair, yeah, she pumps out an insane amount of damage. She could be very easily slotted to an on-field carry as opposed to an off-field support. And I think a candidate that people continuously compare her with is Kazuha, and I think that is a fair comparison. The main reason being that both of these characters have tools in their kits to facilitate damage for the rest of their teams. In Yelan's case is she has a ramping buff that starts at 1% and goes up to 50%. Granted, that is a ramping buff, whereas Kazuha has ability to use Viridescence, and yes, as many people have already pointed it out, he can indeed shred 2 element, so meaning the Viridescence can have effect on 2 element, essentially shredding both element for your carries to deal even more damage. So in a way, people are saying Yelan, her ramping buff can only be utilized by the character on field, while Kazuha can help more than one character have a better damage environment. But you see, I think that is far too short-sighted when you are talking about a character like Yelan. You guys are easily forgetting the fact that Yelan could take the field by herself with her charge attack along with her burst skill, buffing herself up with other characters in the team that facilitates that playstyle, while Kazuha is a true and tested support DPS until he's C6. But hey, we're talking about a C0 character in Yelan compared to a C0 character in Kazuha. At C0, Yelan offers more variety in both playstyle and, in my opinion, team optimization. So I know a lot of you guys just aren't convinced when I say this myself. So I actually took some time and did some research. In fact, I went on to CN forums. I did contact and reach out to some of these people, and I was asking them and posing the same questions you guys are posing to me. And the answer pretty much is in alignment with what I was saying. These players in China are favoring Yelan in many scenarios, in saying that her buffing and her output is more versatile. In fact, a lot of them have chosen to run Yelan in the overworld over Kazuha, as they just say, Kazuha, well, yeah, he's great, he offers a great buff, but he just doesn't feel as comfortable to use casually. Yelan's burst skill tracks enemies. All you have to do is spam left click and the job is done. And in fact, some of them have even gone as far to pair Yelan with Xingqiu, and the amount of output is quite frankly just frightening. This character, for the most part, people have been sleeping on one variation for playstyle, and that is a mono hydro team with Kazuha in the team. And if you don't have Kazuha, run Sucrose. A mono hydro team consisting of Yelan, Xingqiu, Kokomi, and a Kazuha or a Sucrose has been absolutely mind-boggling good. Like, we're talking Kokomi driver, blindfolded, play with your feet levels of good. Now, these players are by no means casual players. They are very in tune with what's popular, with what works, and to them, this is what Yelan feels like is in an optimal playstyle. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys, wow, you know, you want to play Yelan, make sure just yoink Xingqiu onto your team, yoink Kokomi onto your team, and get a Kazuha. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying is the variations in playstyle is just not seeing an end anytime soon. Now, if you guys watch me for an extended period of time, you guys would know what I value most in a character is not their single target abilities, not their maximum DPS ceiling. It's always been and always will be their versatility within the game. Because why would I get a character that fits in two teams at their peak potential and then don't really work anywhere else. This game isn't so hard to the point where you need to be copying everyone's playstyle and team optimizations to the dot with their artifacts and their weapons. No, there are top teams in the game. There are recommendations that theory crafters have worked out through tireless calculations, but I'm telling you, you can customize your own team to fit your own need. And I just gotta say, Yelan is a character that takes that philosophy and pushes it to the max. This character helps you make even the most subpar DPS feel significant. They feel impactful, and it raises their ceiling by a degree that actually competes with other meta options. And do you know what's the best part about this? Is she works with physical damage units, she works with geo units, she's going to work with dendro units regardless of whatever interactions they have. She gives a damage percentage buff. Kazuha is great. I'm not diminishing Kazuha's greatness here by trying to say Yelan somehow outshines him. I think in the perfect scenario, they work very well together, as proven by the Chinese players. But to say Yelan is far inferior or Kazuha is much better, I think is an overstatement. I think we're getting too attached to what's currently available. This was the same thing, and let me tell you guys, I can say I've made the same mistake when evaluating Kazuha versus Venti. Yes, at the time, Kazuha was offering very similar tools to Venti. In fact, with what was offered back in patch 1.6, Venti was still a good option in many scenarios. It wasn't until patch 2.0, 2.1, 2.2, Venti started falling off. Now, not to fear monger and say, oh, careful, Kazuha is going to get targeted, but just understand, don't continuously make the same mistake patch after patch. No character sits on their throne forever. They're always going to shift around. And Yelan right now, it's not just Walrus saying she's a good character. There are theory crafters, both from the west, from the east, all saying this is a worthwhile character. Stop resisting it. It's not very often that I'm comfortable to sit here and tell you guys a character is good without fearing the backlash of a bad take. Listen, when Walrus is comfortable sitting here telling you guys a character is good, you probably should be considering them, then the character, what can I say, is likely a good character. Look at some of the videos I have in the past. I'm very skeptical because most of the time they're just one and done options. I did not give anywhere near this kind of praise to Ayato because he just doesn't feel like a character that offers that kind of versatility. Trust me, people, Yelan will take not only your account to the next level, but also your overall enjoyment because, like I said, she fits in every team. If you want her to, yes, she may not be the best meta option, but that damage ramping just works with anyone. That one team slot is very valuable. I understand. For most of the time, you would say, well, just bring a Kazuha. Yeah, that would be great. There are team scenarios that Yelan will not outperform Kazuha in. But Kazuha, as it stands now, is totally locked outside of certain team options. And if you're talking about versatility, Yelan is, by all sense of the word, more versatile than Kazuha while offering a little bit less of a damage buff. That makes sense, right? Because if she were more versatile than Kazuha and offered more damage buffing, what do you call that, people? Yeah, that's called a power creep. That's why I kept saying, go look at my older videos. I said Yelan is not a power creep, but she offers great versatility in the space that we need her to provide options that currently isn't available to us. People, versatility will always outperform raw damage performance. Trust me on this one. I've played enough gacha game. I've spent tens of thousands of dollars learning this rule the hard way, game by game. In the long run, if you see yourself playing this game for more than, let's say, 3 to 4 patches, trust me, in versatility is going to be the way you want to invest in your account. Finding characters that can offer you more ways to function at a high level is going to be that sweet spot to aim for. Kazuha is one of those characters. Let me tell you, Yelan is another one. Don't end up 3-4 months down the line regretting your decisions. I'm telling you now, people, if you have the means or if you even can try to get this character, you can. If you really want Kazuha, don't worry, go get Kazuha because chances are Yelan will come back before Kazuha comes back. Now, Is that a promise? Absolutely not. Maybe Kazuha gets shadow nerfed by some new content and now he can become more available. Howeverse feels comfortable in releasing him to us more, and somehow Yelan becomes a really good character as the new patches come and she doesn't come back for another year. That could happen. Am I trying to pressure you to pull for her? No, don't let anybody tell you what and what not to do. I'm here to share with you people's opinions and in some degree hard facts that shouldn't be refutable. But anyways, I want to hear what you guys think. I do think people are really sleeping on her, not in that way, but under evaluating her overall potential. As always, until next time, I urge you all to stay safe and peace.